All right, guys, I told you I would give you my kind of my thoughts on how a cell compares to a school. And like I said, the protein is not on here, so in my mind, the protein would be, which I'll just write it down here. Protein is equal to students' education. So us educating you guys. So then I'm going to say, okay, well, what makes the protein? What makes the protein is the ribosome. So the ribosome makes the protein. So what makes your guys' education? Now I could go right away. I immediately thought of two different things. You guys are in charge of your education, but also it's up to us as teachers to make sure you're educated. So you could go with either way in that, or maybe you had some completely different thought, and that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and say you guys, because then that helps me with the nucleolus. So if I say, okay, well, that is up to students. So you guys are directly in charge of your education. Now, who is supposed to be there supporting you? Who helps you do that? So who helps the ribosome? Who makes the ribosome? The nucleolus does. So who makes you guys educated? And that is us as teachers. We're supposed to, right? So that's us as teachers. Once I get those two out, then I kind of go through and I just go through the rest and try to figure them out. But I always try to do those as a set. So mitochondria is the energy. Now it could be as simple as saying, okay, the lights in the school. I'm trying to think what other kids have said in the past. Lights, just the electricity in general, you could say, because we're talking, you could use the building in this. All right, the Golgi apparatus, how things get passed around. I know that sometimes I've had people say, Mrs. Tommy can do that. That's the one I've seen most, is usually whoever is down in the office. Lysosome, who is cleaning up. So it could be janitor, it could be the trash can. There's so many different ways you can go. You can use people or objects, so that's fine. I'm sorry. I think I said ER when I said Miss Tommy, or I don't know, I was thinking ER when I said it, but put it in the Golgi. So who kind of gets things? I see Miss Tommy a lot of times going around with getting kids out of class or getting us teachers some information. So she's kind of passing things along. Or you could say that the bus is also doing that. The Golgi is packaging things up, putting it together. So this could be, I don't know, your homework. So yes, it's up to you guys to learn. The teachers are supposed to provide the support for that. And then how do we package that learning up? Well, maybe it's in tests. Maybe it's a test to see how much you learned. Maybe it's a homework assignment that's supposed to test how you learned. Okay? Now, once again, this is just my thoughts. You could have had completely different thoughts. That could be just as right. All right, let's see here. The nucleus. I'm going to skip these plant parts and some of these others real quick. The nucleus is who's in charge. So you could say Miss Lannis. You could say Mr. Crank. You could say, overall the school board. There's so many different things you could say here. It's just up to you and how you see it. Now the cell membrane lets things come in and out, so you could say the doors to the building. Or you could just say the building itself. You could say windows. However you want to do that, you could say that. Now these right here are what's going to be the main ones in your project that we're going to be talking about here soon. But then you could say, okay, storage. We have closets. I have a closet in my room. There's storage closets down the hallway. But you could say closet. You could say lockers store things. The chloroplast is also chlorophyll. It's providing energy also for things, but it kind of works hand in hand in plants. It works with the mitochondria. So you could say it's the electricity. You could then say, it's using the energy that the mitochondria are making. So you could say like the heat/air, because they're using the energy to do things. Now, once again, so many different ways you could go with this. The cell wall, that could be, oh goodness, we could even say, if this is the doors to the building, this is the actual building. the actual structure that is held up. Now the microtubules help our cells stand up, so you could say that this is like, oh gosh, the structure inside the walls, which because the microtubules are just like the structures inside our cells. Now these guys, I am not too worried about. If you could not get those, that is okay. Because those are not the ones that we will be tested on. They're not the ones that are going to be in our project. It's the rest of these. And once again, that protein. That is the first thing I do. I always look and say, what is my protein? What is being made? What is the goal? What is happening here? I know, like I've had a kid do a cell is like Monsters Inc. Well, what was the goal of Monsters Inc.? It was to get kids to scream. So that was their protein, kids screams. So it's anything like that, right? Once again, if you guys have any questions, you know you can get a hold of me. So contact me, just let me know what you need, all right? All right, have a good day. Bye.